Hi, this is the PC Expert Amateur again. What a surprise. I bet you didn't expect to see me again. Right, well, we're going to take a look at the Lion Lee Unifan SL120 version 2 in white. And this is what it looks like. I don't have the package for this one. This was an open box at Micro Center. So it doesn't bother me about that, but it comes with a very nice long double cord for PWM, and then this is an SM JST 3-pin connector here. And this fits right in to that thing there. Now, so basically what you're going to do is you're going to take it, and this flange here is going to cover up these pins. And so this is going to go into the recessed area above the pins. And you just push it in there, nice and tight. And if you have to take it off, you will want to use something like a small knife or something like that to get underneath that lip carefully and pull it off. You do not want to pull it off by the cable because that could end up damaging the whole cable head or plug. And on each side, it's kind of a fancy looking fan because it's got this nice silver and aluminum siding on the two sides, plus on the hub. It's got the Lion Lee symbol there, and it's nothing there except for kind of a silver look to it, even though it's aluminum. It is currently protected with plastic. Everything's protected with plastic these days. Pretty soon they're going to wrap me up. And there are indicators on here on either side of the frame. There are two there and one there. And I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's just so that you know how to align them correctly. So you know that the one means that it's the fingers, and the two means that it's the socket. And you can daisy chain 3 of these together. You can do up to, I believe it is 6, and connect that to the controller. And for a total, if you're not doing like solid 100% white, you can do 18 fans. Now, if you're going to do the full power 100% white, you're only going to be able to do 12 fans because there's a limit of 29 watts on the controller. And this does draw per fan, and it doesn't tell me actually about how many watts in amps there are for the LEDs. Unfortunately, it just tells me 2.4 watts. Sorry, 2.04 watts and 0.17 amps. So we don't want to go too high. But yeah, it's nice looking fan, and I'm gonna use the adapter that it comes with to switch from SMJST to the standard ARGB connector. And this is so that customers are still able to use these fans connected to their motherboard, which I think is far smarter than some of the other companies. Like, no names mentioned, NZXT. Oops. Did I do that? All right. So, and this is a dual-sided lighting, so you don't have to worry about which way it's going to be facing, even though they do sell some reverse blades. And the movement is currently set to be kind of slow. Let me turn this. No, it's just not showing up very well on my screen, but it looks very nice to my eyes. So let's go ahead and see what the sound production is like. This is good enough for a case fan or a air cooler. And if you have a not so dense radiator, you could use it in a pinch on the radiator as well. Although I would say if it's a dense fan, dense radiator. Do not put it on there. It's just not going to push enough air through. Sorry about that. Very quiet so far. But it's already making some noise. There are some harmonics. There's a high-pitched whine from it. There's a harmonic. There's a harmonic at the top. All right, well, that's not so great. Okay. Quite loud, I would say. And that's interesting because they claim 29.2 decibels. So it sounds like it might be louder than 29.2 decibels. Let's find out how it sounds against the Noctua. There's the whine of the Noctua starting to appear. Yeah, this Lian Li is definitely louder than the Noctua in FA12 by 25. And the bearings are nice, but nowhere near as good as the Noctuas. So yeah, it is a stylish looking fan, I guess you could say. Although I don't know if it's your style or not. There are other fans that you could choose from, obviously. So many fans. I mean, I could spend the rest of my life collecting fans and never, ever, ever get them all. Because, you know, as soon as one comes out, they produce another. Oh, by the way, unless I am sorely mistaken, you can also use the version 1 connector or power connector for the fans. Oh, and another nice feature of these version 2s. Wait a second. This is uh-oh. Supposedly you can, yeah, okay. So you see these things here. If it's the if it's at the end, or if it's going to get in the way of something else, you can actually turn it and remove it. And I think that's a nice little touch from Lian Li. They definitely gave it some consideration. This is also a thicker fan than the version 1, and the connector is not obtrusive like it is with the version 1. In fact, some reviewers like Linus Tech Tips complained about the fact that it was sticking out so much because it's a fairly long piece and it sticks out a few millimeters, and the complaint was that's going to get in the way when putting it in a case or on a radiator or whatever potentially. So I don't know why they revised, if it was because of complaints from reviewers, or if they realized, hey, we can do better. Hopefully they just figured it out on their own, but I don't know. Anyways, please do me a favor and like, subscribe, and share so that we can build this channel together, make it into a place where consumers can know they can come here and get honest opinions and information about the computer stuff that I will cover. Maybe eventually I'll be able to hire somebody to work with me. And at the very least is My goal is helping consumers because I can't be bought. There's no company in the world that has enough money to buy me. And I know that sounds pretty far-fetched, but I have a very high price tag. An enormously high price tag. Basically the GDP of the world. That's all. So yeah, very interesting. We're going to take a look at another Lian Li next. It'll be the Bora. So look forward to that. But first, we're going to take a look at the data for this one. Okay. Okay, so it's the Lian Li Unifan SL120 version 2 or G99.12 SLV2 1W.00. Wow, that's a mouthful. And the frame is white, silver, aluminum, and translucent white. And the blades are white with silver hub. Well, it's aluminum, but it looks silvery. So the fan, I got them at $22, and they're previously they were $27. This is the version 2. Version 1s are a bit cheaper. I think they're selling for like half that or something. It has certifications from CE and ROHS. Made in China, 120 by 28 millimeters, so it's larger than normal. They don't tell the lifespan of this thing, but it gets a whopping 2 years versus over 150,000 hours for the Noctua NF-A12 by 25, and a 6-year warranty. And it's got ARGB lights that are supported that support ASUS, MSI, Gigabyte, and ASRock. The weight is even heavier than the Noctua, if that can be believed. It's 220 grams versus 200. There are still only 7 blades versus the 9 on the Noctua. Standard mounting hole distance. Speed is 250 to 2,000 RPMs, but it didn't say if it was plus or minus 10%. There's no variance indicated. And it does have zero RPM protection. But then again, any fan can go to 0 RPMs once the volts go too low. But the fans that actually state it, my understanding is that they actually have something built into the integrated circuit in the fan that will shut it off when the voltage gets too low, so it doesn't enter a brownout condition. That's my understanding. If somebody knows better than me and I'm incorrect, please put it in the comments, and I'll try to stick it to the top. Okay, the airflow is 64.5 cubic feet per minute. Static pressure is 2.59 millimeters of water. Maximum noise is 29.2 decibels. The fan's PWM or power cable is 52 centimeters. You can daisy chain, obviously, by stacking them together or using connecting cables, but there's no direct daisy chaining, as in like a split cable with a pigtail or whatever. And the cable is sleeved. They are both that way. And then the ARGB part of the cable is also 52 centimeters and the same features, except for the fan side is PWM, and then the other side is the SMJST 3-pin. It's a fluid dynamic bearing, 12 volts with a minimum of 5, maximum of 12, 2.04 watts and 0.17 amps. And then the RGB LEDs are 5 volts, but they did not deign to share with us the specifications for watts and amps. And then there's no indicators for rotation and flow. Sorry. It is a clockwise rotating fan. You get 4 screws with it. And you also get corner cushions that are some of the thickest corner. I think these are actually the thickest corner cushions I've seen on any fan, and they're very sturdy. They don't come off easily, if at all. So you can't easily take them off and put a different color one on there, but I'm sure you can do it somehow or other. I just don't know if it would require using adhesive to put on different ones. And it also comes with an 18 centimeter extension and an SMJST to ARGB adapter that's 12 centimeters. And if you buy a 3-pack, you'll get a hub. And the hub has to be connected to a USB header on your motherboard, as well as, I believe, the power supply, probably SATA, if I remember correctly. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day.